What is up, guys? I am sitting here getting a little bit of sunlight, checking out the park. For the most part, as far as I've seen at least, the park is pretty zombie free. And, and that makes me extremely happy when, people are out here and no one's wearing a mask and everybody's pretty zombie free. Because I got to tell you, on the walk down now that college is back in town, I'm seeing packs of 5, 6, 8 people wearing masks in 80-degree weather. But that's not why you came here. Thumbs the video up, subscribe, and share. Alex Jones, as a lot of you know, already terminated his working relationship with Millie Weaver, right? But today he announced that he's going to take her entirely off of the band.video platform, and including Shadowgate, of course, but her whole channel. And to me, this is problematic and should show people kind of the inside baseball of some of these new alternative platforms, right? So when we talk about band.video, when I ran into the InfoWars people, and Millie Weaver was there, but I did not talk to Millie. I talked to Rob too, and he's like, "Oh, you should put your stuff on band.video." I'm like, "You really think they're going to give me a channel on band.video, Rob?" I kind of chuckled, because Jones is that guy. Talks about decoupling and all this other stuff. But, I guess he didn't take her off today, which is what, Friday. So you got 2 more days to go and download anything that Millie Weaver has put up exclusively over at band.video. So that should be pretty interesting in its own right. So it's, it's all a cluster F of she said. Apparently, Millie put out some stuff saying that, Alex didn't fund it. And again, watching the documentary, I didn't see anything InfoWars or Alex Jones named on it. So I really don't even know. I don't know what to say. Just that I did give an open invitation to Millie Weaver to talk about the documentary first and foremost. I'd like to know the inside scoop of how, she did meet the 2 main whistleblowers, when she was convinced of their credentials, when she went forward with this project, et cetera, et cetera. I think more speech is better. So again, I reached out to her. I'm not going to press her on anything that she wouldn't want to talk about. So add her, guys, and let her know that I'd like to at least get the scoop on the documentary itself. 6 thumbs up, 49 watching. Let's thumbs it up. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about on this beautiful summer day, while I'm basking in the sun and trying to forget about the fact I live in the Twilight Zone, is that I do live in the Twilight Zone. And there are these tech billionaires that are now in bed with the government via space. Outer space. We're going to the moon and we're going to Mars. And no, we're not. And it's more predator class, media, military, industrial complex stuff. I often talk about Elon Musk, right? You guys that watch this channel know I talk about him a lot. Well, that's because he's kind of like set up as like this hero, and people think that he's like the best guy in the world. On the flip side to that, I don't talk about Bezos enough, because a lot of people are doing that work on Amazon, and it's, generally accepted that Jeff Bezos actually looks like a Bond villain. But he's got his own little outer space outfit, right? What is it, Blue Origin, I believe? And he's talking about, we're going to go to the moon in 2024. Guys, anybody telling you this fictitious la-la land of we're going back to the moon and we're doing it with rocket technology is just that. They're in fictitious wonderland. They're telling you lies. They're manipulating information. They're going to weaponize space further with whatever types of weapon, whether they be hot weapons or directed energy weapons, or maybe even more sophisticated wavelength weapons, right? Not just something that would knock a missile out, not just a rod of God, but, something that could ease the general populace. We already realized that Reagan had the Star Wars program way back in the day, right? That's what we like here. We like facts. We don't love conjecture. We love facts, I think that's why my last video was really important, to like talk about the factual child predators within government that have just been caught over the last few decades. And that's why that's powerful. But when you look again at space, think to yourself, use some common sense here for a minute. The most powerful rocket that's out there, that's used today, is the Saturn V. That's a Werner von Braun creation. We're literally going all the way back to paperclip days and the creation of the CIA and the creation of NASA. And, factually, if I wanted to make some leaps in logic, right? NASA, they're heavily promoted by Disney. NASA kind of born out of the CIA as well, right? We got to beat the Russians, just like Area 51, born out of the CIA. And one of those things that I liked out of the Shadows documentary was pointing out how the CIA posted all these front companies to buy up land in Florida to put Disney World there, right? I believe it was Florida. Maybe it was California and Disneyland. Don't quote me, but they bought up a bunch of land. I could have got that wrong. See, I'm a human being. My brain gets things wrong sometimes. But it shows you this hyper relationship, right? Between technology, intelligence, and the media. And we're always seeing, we're in space. We're going to space. And they're always reinforcing that idea. We're going to space, really? When is that happening? Because it hasn't been. And no other nation states made it there. And you're telling me that rocket technology hasn't developed since then. And the reason, that they keep that stuff classified and it's a big dog and pony show is that next-gen rocket technology is also a weapon, because rockets themselves were derived from what weapons? And then when you talk about actual next-gen space travel, they don't involve rockets at all. What do they involve? Other types of propulsion systems. But, that's okay, because you got Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk telling you, we're going to the moon, we're going to Mars. Nonsense. Johnny flippin' nonsense. So, if you're tuning in late to this stream, Band video is not for everybody, as Millie Weaver's going to be taken off the platform. And that's why, I'm a little suspect of the London Real platform and others like it, because, they'll have to censor at some point too, right? And who is my brother's keeper? Other than doing everything yourself and putting it up independently, is there anything out there that is truly independent anymore? So much censorship has escalated in the last 4 or 5 months, like an unheard of amount, guys. And you see it, and I see it, and I think the world is starting to see it. But when are we going to push back? Because it's not just censorship, it's the authoritarian boot that goes with it, right? And while they're feeding you these heroes, right? Because Jeff Bezos is a hero. He's going to take us into space. Everyone's telling me that these people on the Amazon commercials, the woman who's so happy about using a thermal camera on her workers and telling them to step into a box, keeping people safe, she's a hero, right? And then the ridiculous woman who's laughing about hand sanitizer looking like vodka and thinking that's funny, she's a hero, right? And of course we have the deaf worker that tells you that Amazon will give you the training you need if you just ask. He's a hero, right? No, it's propaganda. And meanwhile, you're on the Amazon Prime, you're still watching their shows, ordering their products. We're all guilty of this. But again, to think that and Jeff Bezos is just some company that landed. No, man. Jeff Bezos is handling CIA information. Jeff Bezos owns a prominent newspaper. It's all part of the same deal. He's a climber in that predator class, man. He's probably part of the good club that Bill Gates, Oprah, Bloomberg, Turner, all the good people, right? The good guys, if you will, are a part of. So guys, thumbs the video up, subscribe and share. Get out there, man. Look at how gorgeous it is today. It is so nice in this park of mine. I love it. I can't get enough of it. So Get out there, be a human being. Try not to, you know, let the slavery and the masks and the craziness bother you too much. Remember, the GoFundMe is in the link below. And that's how you do it. If you haven't seen my last video where I go through and I talk about the Netflix cutie situation, but more importantly, show you how you can find and show people actual politicians involved in pedophilia and not like fictitious memes that are easily disproven, I encourage you to check that out too. Thumbs up on the way out, guys. Only 33. Love you, and see you on the flip.